Kia ora folks, nice to see you again. I want to talk a little bit about another really good experiment that you can do with the classes, and this is about using a nappy. So it's a disposable nappy, and inside the nappy there are these crystals which are called sodium polyacrylate. It's a common name for, well, really it's sodium polycarbonate. And so it's a polymer. It's basically a long-chained polymer with a carbonate group on it, and on that carbonate there are sodium ions that can be released, and water can easily be absorbed into this polymer. What happens is that the positive side of the water molecule easily adheres to the repeating carbonate chain, and this is what they call a SAP, an SAP, so it's a super absorbent polymer. Why I find this it's a really engaging investigation, because students can actually see, instantly, wow, this is really absorbent. It's quite sort of engaging for that reason, and it also fits very nicely with the New Zealand curriculum. So if you have, I'm sort of looking at level 5 of the document, and if you look at the material world, say chemistry and society, link the properties of different groups of substances and the way they are used in society or occur in nature. You could also talk, you're also investigating the chemical and physical properties of different groups of substances. So that's at level 5. So level 5 sort of at years 9 and 10. If you go to level 6, which is sort of at year 11, things are a little bit different here. You're just identifying patterns and trends in the properties of a range of group of substances. Okay, and in chemistry and society, you're investigating how chemical knowledge is used in a technological application of chemistry. So it fits very nicely with the New Zealand curriculum, and it's easy to do. So I'll show you. The first thing to do is cut the. Some of the nappies have these. This is like a little nappy pants. So so you just cut that off like that, and then of course inside the nappy is this kind of, it's like a cotton wool. There's sort of different layers in there, but what you want to do to get access to the access to the crystals is you have to cut it. So it looks a bit sort of weird, doesn't it? But you have to actually cut this, and what you see first is this sort of kind of fluff. It's like a fluff, which is and you can already see, as I open this, I can see the little crystals of the polyacrylate, the sodium polyacrylate. So in a Ziploc bag, put that whole nappy inside the bag, and what that does is that you can then, you're containing all the crystals, and you just shake these out, and I can immediately see these little tiny crystals coming out in the bag. So it's quite a good idea to just Ziploc that, and because there's a little bit of fluff that comes off. You just sort of move that around. This bag's a little bit small. I would prefer to use a slightly bigger Ziploc bag. So if you can get the sort of A4 size bags, they're probably the best bet. But this is all right. This is okay. And so you can see there in the corner, the crystals have come out. So with a teaspoon, open up the bag, and then carefully capture the crystals. Put that bag aside, and you'll need a beaker. A nice, a 250ml beaker will be fine. This is 600, but just pop those all in there. And what we're going to do now is, with a small plastic pipette, is to measure how much water the crystals will absorb. And so this is graduating of 3 mils. So if I suck that up, and you'll soon see how incredibly absorbent that's. So you just basically, the students can keep adding the water, you know, just make ensure and recording the amount of water that they put in there, and you can soon see that these crystals will absorb that water very, very quickly indeed. And so what we're doing, and this is the heading of the experiment, is that we're trying to find out how much urine can a nappy hold. So I mean, you could develop this, and you could actually, it could be like a fair test. You could investigate different types of nappies. So on the market there's ones for toddlers, there's ones for newborns, and so on. So you could do that. You could do a consumer kind of fair test for that. I mean, I'm not doing that today. I'm just choosing one. But look at this. Look how amazingly absorbent that water is. I can turn the whole beaker upside down, and nothing comes out. So, and so it's a simple experiment, but there's a lot of chemistry going on here, and there's also good measuring skills to use. It's about students being curious, but also developing kind of critical thinking, critical solving problems, and using their ideas about what's relevant to their life. I mean, I think most parents have used a disposable nappy, and you can talk a little bit more about the ethical choices of disposable nappies, and of course the whole technological aspect of a polymer. What is a polymer? So I hope that helps.